Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tasha Scott. I'm the owner of Maximized Growth, L.L.C. If you are new here, this is your first time joining me. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you. Thank you for investing your time into improving your personal growth. If you are coming again because you have liked the videos that I've done, you've enjoyed the series, welcome back. Today, we are going to be focusing on the law number 5 from the book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, written by Dr. John Maxwell, one of my mentors. And we're going to be talking about the law of consistency. Before we dive in, I ask if you know someone who could benefit from this, will you do me a favor? Will you share this? Will you also like this actual video? And will you subscribe to this channel? Even if you haven't subscribed before, or if you know of someone who could benefit from learnings about personal growth and development, leadership, communication, team building, please encourage them to subscribe. I am on a mission to get this message out and messages like this so that leaders can become more self-aware. Because at the end of the day, and I say that a lot, at the end of the day, when leaders are more self-aware, guess what? Organizations improve, communities improve, families improve, individuals improve. The one who's the most self-aware is the one who has the responsibility. And leaders, it's time for us to stop passing the blame on everyone else. It is time for us to start taking responsibility. So this law number 5 from the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth is about the law of consistency. Now, here's the thing. I actually have a different take on consistency because I know a lot of times we hear consistency is what you do, you keep continuing to do, you keep doing over and over again until you get results, right? Well, I want to approach it from a different angle today. Now, in the book, it says the hallmark of excellence, the test of greatness is consistency. And that is so true. Dr. Maxwell goes on to say, it doesn't matter how many opportunities you receive. If you want to grow in consistency, if you want to grow, consistency is the key. Here's my different angle today. I want to talk about how to be consistent when you're going through struggles, when you're going through obstacles. Hello, am I talking to you today? If I am, put amen or that's me or yes in the chat, in the comments. I want to talk about the power of consistency when we are going through our hard times. Because leaders, let's face it, we are human beings. We bleed just like everyone else. We hurt just like everyone else. And sometimes we need to be reminded that the very struggle that we're going through, the very hard time that we're going through, if we are consistent in our action in the way forward, we will get through to the other side. So Dr. Maxwell, in this particular chapter on law number 5, talks about 4 things. He talks about 4 ways to grow in consistency. So I want you to think through the lens. What are you going through right now that you literally are feeling the overwhelm? You are feeling the pressure. You're feeling the pain. Whatever that is, you don't have to put that in the comment, but you do have to answer that out loud or write it out for yourself. What is it that you feel like this is impossible or it seems too far away from me right now? I want you to think about that for a minute. And then I want you to ask yourself, what can I do to move forward in this? What is one step that I can take today that will help me get to the other side? I may not be on the other side today, but there's a step that I can take. And that's what I want you to lean into as we talk about how to grow in consistency. Because if we consistently take steps, daily action items, if we continue to take those small steps in the forward direction, guess what? We'll turn around and we'll look at just how far we've come because we did not allow ourselves to stay stuck. Stuck just means I don't have options. Stuck sometimes means I don't even have support. But my friends, even if you feel like that's true, something led you to this video today. So I want to be that voice of encouragement for you today. I want to be that reminder for you today that if you consistently take a step in the forward direction, my friends, you will get through this by the power of consistency. So are you ready to dive in? All right, let's go. Number one, the first question that you have to ask in how to grow in consistency is, do you know what you need to improve? We can't heal what we're not willing to reveal. Do you know what you need to improve? Is it procrastination? Is it unforgiveness? Is it bitterness? Is it better management of your time? You get to fill in the blank. But do you know what you need to improve? We cannot afford to walk around like we have our head in the sand and we're not acknowledging the very things or the very areas where we need to improve. We have to define it so that at least when we acknowledge it, we can start leaning in that direction, that forward direction, not stuck, not backwards. So, do you know what you need to improve? I challenge you as you're listening to this, grab you a notebook, grab you some paper, and start writing these questions down. Make these your journal entries. Some of y'all have private time where you pray or you meditate. Literally take these questions into those quiet moments and allow yourself the gift of honesty. Do you know what you need to improve? Journalist and author George Lorimore says, you've got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. And again, my angle today, when I'm talking about consistency, I am talking about if you want to grow, because that's the goal. That's the goal at the end of the day, growth. If you want to grow, if you want to heal, if you want to overcome, we have to get to a place where we identify what is it that we want to improve. Now, here's the thing, just because we know what it is doesn't mean we know how to do it. So that's actually question number two. Do you know how you are supposed to improve? Do you see why number one was important? We've got to identify the thing first. That's number one. And sometimes that's the hardest step for most people, especially when it comes to leaders and influencers. I've got both hands up because sometimes we're busy helping everyone else. We've got the answers for everyone else. That sometimes the hardest thing that we can do is literally take a step to the mirror. But what I'm challenging you today, leaders and influencers, and those who lead people, I am challenging you to identify so that you can know the direction. But on number two, I'm going to repeat it. Do you know how you're supposed to improve? You need a strategy. That's at the end of the day, you need a strategy. And if you are sitting on the other side of this saying, I know that, Tasha, I'm racking my brain trying to figure out what that strategy is, then this is the other S that you need. You need support. Now, what does support look like? May I be transparent for a minute? For me, my support team, it's a small support team, but it's a solid support team. One of the first people on my support team. Now, let me just say this for all my faith based people. Yes, God, ultimately, yes, is my ultimate support. But did you know that God sends people? And one of the people that I added to my support team was a counselor. In fact, my counselor I use through betterhelp.com. I have no affiliate, no anything to this. I am just giving you a resource. BetterHelp.com is where I found my counselor, and we meet by video chats. And that is my safe place where I can come and talk about my stuck places or my fears or my hesitations, or help me to talk through how did I get here? Maybe there were some things from my past, and the past could be all the way to childhood, or the past could be what happened last week. But that's where therapy and counseling has really helped me around that question, do you know how you're supposed to improve? That counselor asks me questions, and she gives me some time and space to reflect in the session and in between the sessions. So therefore I can literally um, get to the place where I'm not literally holding those emotions in. In fact, somebody asked me a question yesterday when I was talking to them. They stopped me because I was sharing an experience, and they stopped me and they said, "How did you get to the place where you could just say that out loud?" And you know what my answer was? Counseling. So that's one way that you can or one place that you can go to develop a strategy and have support. Some of y'all, it may be through an accountability partner. It could be through a life coach. It could be through a minister. It could be through a best friend. It could be through a spouse. It doesn't, like, there's no cookie cutter formula to this. What works for me may not work for you, but I'm challenging you. If you get to a place where you say, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to do what I'm doing, don't stay there. Reach outside of yourself, humble yourself, and ask for help with your strategy. And maybe you just need a thinking partner. Maybe you do know the answer and you just need somebody to bounce that off of. That's a safe place. It's a no judgment zone. Last weekend or weekend before last, I was in Atlanta, Georgia for a retreat called The Turning Point. And we had to write out a lot of journal prompts. One of them was around our dreams. And then we were paired with someone and we had to do a support statement. And I thought this was powerful. Now, I'm not saying this verbatim, but part of the support statement were things like, I see you, I believe in you, I do not judge you, I believe in your dream. This is a safe place for you to share your dream with me. And when we heard the person, we were not allowed to comment. We were not allowed to elaborate except for this one sentence. Is there anything else? And sometimes, if you don't know how, again, you just have to know who can help you develop your strategy. A couple of other points that Dr. Maxwell talked about here is sometimes we have to match our motivation to our personality type. We have to start with the simple stuff. We have to be patient and we have to value the process. These are some things all around how. Number three, in how to grow in consistency, do you know why you want to keep improving? I've said this, I don't know how many times, and I believe it. Why is probably one of the most important questions that you can ask. It's a small word, but it's a powerful word because on the days that you want to quit, we have to remind ourselves or be reminded, why are we doing what we're doing in the first place? I cannot tell you how many times my self talk, I've had to ask myself that question. Why are you doing this, Tasha? Why are you showing up? Like, why is this so important to you? And that has literally saved me from jumping over the ledge and or giving up on things that I'm supposed to hold on to. A good accountability partner, a good person, I just talked about your support system, will also have permission to ask you why. And there's one person that I'm thinking of right now that she knows one of my dreams. And she asks me all the time, how is that getting you closer to your dream? Why is this important to you? And I love that because on the days that I forget, I'm so glad that she has tucked that away safely and she's able to bring it out in a safe way, in a non-judgmental way, just to remind me, hey, and literally holding up the mirror. Do you remember this? Do you remember why you got started in the first place? How powerful is that? And then lastly, number four, do you know when you are supposed to improve? To me, this is about timing. And can I just be honest? This is just my 2 cents. I don't think there's ever a right time to improve. This is one of those things where you just got to make a plan and start. Start exactly where you are. I'm a big component of that is just starting where you are. Start with the most obvious step that's in front of you. For me, getting back into videos consistently, because that's our word for today, it literally was uncomfortable. It was scary. It was overcoming all the limiting beliefs and the negative mindset of why I shouldn't. And just literally just saying to Tasha, me, really, Tasha, all you have to do is just try. All you have to do is try because sometimes we have the limiting belief of what if I fail? What if I miss it? What if I get it wrong? What if nobody wants to watch it? What if nobody likes it? All of those things, right? And that hinders our time and our timing. And so one of the things that I'm literally on purpose saying to myself these days is, did you try? Did you try? Did you take the most obvious step that was in front of you? My friends, I just shared 4 questions that you can ask yourself how to grow in consistency. And I'll repeat these questions real quick. The first one is, do you know what you need to improve? Number 2, do you know how you are supposed to improve? Number 3, do you know why you want to improve? And number 4, do you know when you're supposed to improve? As with every video that I do, I always like to end with a challenge. So, one of the things he talked about is value and appreciate the process. So, one of the activities he says is make a list of everything you like about personal growth. If your list is short, really work at it, and anything you can find as motivation will help you to develop better habits, better growth habits. Let me just say that. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's not about the thing that we do. That's why we have to say, did you try? It's not about the thing that you do. More importantly, it's who are you becoming in the process. If you aim for the moon and you only, let me make sure I say this right. If you aim for the stars, if you aim for the stars and you only reach the moon, did you fail? Did you? Because you tried and you landed higher than where you were, right? And so I hope that this helps you. And if it did, will you let me know in the comments? Will you let me know what was your takeaway from today's video around law number 5? Again, this is from the book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by Dr. John Maxwell. This was the law of consistency. I would love for you to put in the comments, what was your one takeaway? Which question stood out to you the most? Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. Again, I'm Tasha Scott, owner of Maximize Growth, L.L.C, and I'd love for you to share this video with anyone that you know that would be encouraged by this law of consistency. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and by all means, I will see you on the next video as we continue this journey around the 15 invaluable laws of growth. Take care.